Hello, everybody. Welcome. I know it is late. It is 12:30 a.m. here over in the Illinois area. But we got to do a reject rundown, man. We got a lot of stuff to discuss. A lot of news that came about just recently this past week. Sad, but generally good. And some like we like to talk about at the end of the show. Let's talk about it. Let's allegedly that's been said. Let's have a little discussion on some of those topics and stuff like that for you guys. So stay tuned. Thank y'all for chiming in real quick. Those viewers are coming in. Please like, subscribe as always, and share for us, please. And comment below. We'll definitely shout you guys out if you guys do. So say what's up, man.
Yes, the good is it's sad but generally good. Old man RJ. How's everyone doing? If you can
Ho-
hear, that's good. If you can't hear me, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Hopefully good, man. I know it's late night. It's gonna be a crazy weekend though, man. Some real. We got tomorrow, later on today, on Saturday. NBA Finals is still happening right now, man. Could be the last game of the NBA Finals. San Antonio, if they lose, they are done in the NBA championship. They are done. Their chances are over. I think, yes, what was it? Let's say, okay, so it would have been Friday, Thursday's game. If they would have won Thursday game, they would have still had a chance. But I believe statistics say, any team that is 3-1 in the NBA Finals have about 85% chance of winning the finals overall. So we shall see. We shall see. It's been a nail biter of a game. The Knicks themselves had a crazy comeback, a 29-point comeback on Thursday night's game against San Antonio. Wild, man. They were literally down and out going into the fourth quarter, still trailing San Antonio. But yet somehow, some way, man, that Brunson kid, dude, one fiery of a friggin' point guard decided to take the ball in his hands for the NBA game and said, we got to win. And sure enough, rallied his troops all together. The Knicks eventually end up winning 107 over 106, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a wild ride, man. Wild ride. I think the fans were in tune. They were dead ass quiet throughout the whole, quarters until that fourth quarter, especially the last 5 minutes. They were the loudest you can hear at Madison Square Garden. And it's good to see. It is good to see, these fans possibly, receiving an NBA championship in the city. And I think it's about time. So I think this is the moment. I think this is the moment. It's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. So we'll see. We'll see. And then we also got Sunday, UFC Freedom 250 happening over there in the White House, everybody, on Sunday night, which is crazy for a UFC fight. I know there's probably going to be about 1 billion views. There's definitely going to be about 1 million views on social media alone. So it's going to be one hell of a ride. I want to sit my butt down here in this freaking chair and enjoy this whole card because it's going to be a badass card from start to finish, especially when Ilya Taporia is going to be main eventing that day. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're doing good. What's up with you? Having a good Saturday early morning, you would say? Saturday early morning? So pretty crazy. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. But let's get on with the show, man. We got a lot of stuff to go over. A lot of stuff to be discussing and stuff. Oh, thanks for dropping on by.
Yeah.
Just drop a follow. Appreciate
Okay,
it.
so
We'll drop the follow back. Thank you. Be nice. So
I'll be
first
right
things
back.
first, man. Sure. Sad news we got earlier this week was that our own Chicago announcer, NBA Chicago Bulls announcer Stacey King had passed, and also former player for the Chicago Bulls, two-time NBA champion, passed away. Suddenly. It was very suddenly. I believe, according to the family, he was dealing with a lot of health issues when it comes to his diabetes, if I'm not mistaken. But for him to battle back and still deal with it and still give us great announcements on Chicago Bulls gameplay was, one or the other. I think Stacey King over the last 10 years, especially during the Derrick Rose era, was phenomenal and especially intriguing to us tuning in to watching these NBA games. When you have the right announcer, you have the right crew at the table to be discussing about the games, they will, get you to tune in more, to get you to be feeling what's happening at the moment. And that's what you want to have at your announcement table when it comes to these type of games. If you're not into sports, you're right. It's hard for you to pay attention. But when you have an announcer like Stacey King to go in there and say his 2 cents and just bring you in, reel you in, like, they're fishing and stuff, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. You can't beat it. There's always, needle in a haystack when you find these type of announcers, and Stacey King himself, all over social media with his lyrics and, his one-liners and stuff, made everything freaking entertaining there in Chicago. So sad to see him, pass, but, to the King family, hopefully everything is going well. Rest in peace to Stacey. We appreciate what you've done for the franchise and what you've done as a person. So rest in peace. On to the next thing, guys. The World Cup. I know some of you guys may not be soccer fans, FIFA fans in general, but those who are FIFA fans, those who are soccer fans, it's live in action, man. Yesterday kicked everything off. At this point, everyone is, or June 11th, apologies. Everyone is excited. Those who are tuning in, that this is happening, man. We get this every 4 years, like the Olympics or whatever case to be. And sometimes we, some of our countries don't really, live up to expectations. Some of us have these high hopes and stuff, and then all of a sudden things get taken out from a sweep of a rug. It's all good. It's the fun. It's the vibe. It's how things are happening. So those who are in any countries, good luck. Have fun. Hopefully, your team continues to move forward, even though I'm rooting for my own Mexico. That is right, because Mexican, not a Mexican. Hopefully they keep doing well like they did and won their first game. So root. We'll see how it goes. Other news, man. Earlier this week, we got a first glimpse of the live action Scooby-Doo. In general, Scooby-Doo himself. It's a mixed feelings with a lot of fans out there. I know some of us have, been, whoever really watched Scooby-Doo as a kid, got used to a talking dog, got used to him, having fun with the rest of the kids and stuff like that. But it looks like in the new live action series that's coming to Netflix, it seems like we're not going to get that going forward in this series. It seems like we're getting a general pup, even though those who used to watch a pup named Scooby-Doo back in the days on Cartoon Network, like myself, we're actually happy with it. But it doesn't seem like that's where we're going to get this series. And a lot of fans, stated their piece, were not happy with this. They were saying, obviously he should be a Great Dane. He should be, be able to talk. Why is he an actual dog instead of a cartoon dog and stuff like that? So we've gotten a lot of negative reviews than we have gotten positive reviews on this. So at this point, as I've always said here on the ReJect Rundown, is I'm going to give it a chance. You got to give someone's interpretation a chance to see what they do with this, to then say, you know what, that was a good idea. It's their own interpretation. It's their own plan on Netflix. It's the way they're setting things up. So if they set it up properly, they've invested into the character properly, then this might actually be good. It actually might turn out to be a good freaking vibe. But we'll see. We shall see. I like how he is.
I mean, that
He
dog
seems
looks like
cool.
a great thing.
Right. If anyone saw, people are okay with Shaggy, the way he looks, the way, the way how we got that little teaser. It's just they weren't happy with how Scooby-Doo looks. But the first glimpse of it is you see in his own eyes of what he's doing, sniffing around, looking for something yummy. He does his, general, vibe, like, stuff like that. So what's the problem? What's the problem? Why are we having a problem with Scooby-Doo being this type of dog? Let's just wait. Let's wait and see, please. Let's just wait and see. Let's give this shit a chance. That's all. It's on Netflix. I'm pretty sure a lot of us who actually have Netflix are not mad at the fact of what Netflix provides us as far as entertainment. So let's fucking give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. I like it. That's just me. Another news, the Wayans, man. So, like we've discussed in the last couple of weeks about, the Wayans and Scary Movie and how things turn out to be. If Scary Movie 6 was going to be a success, the Wayans promised that they would work on projects, sequels of their projects, such as White Chicks 2 and Don't Be a Menace 2. And thus far, it is actually happening now. It is confirmed. These guys are writing their scripts right now for a possible White Chicks 2 and a possible Don't Be a Menace 2. Now, that also doesn't mean that they're just going to rush into these projects and just give us these movies. They're going to take their time. They're going to write the scripts properly and make sure it looks good, just like they did for Scary Movie 6. And so far, I'm actually hopeful about this. I'm excited, especially when it comes to White Chicks 2. So it is what it is. I never saw Don't Be a Menace, to be honest. I never did. I've only seen glimpses and highlights and little clips here and there. Funny, but overall, I'm just more excited with White Chicks 2. So I'm happy that at least they're investing into writing the project. And if it doesn't happen, oh freaking well. The first one was phenomenal. But if they invest in the time like they did for Scary Movie 6, then let's hope for a good ass fucking movie, to be honest. I think it'll be hilarious. Super hilarious. So suck on that, whoever didn't like Scary Movie 6.
That was a pretty good movie. In my opinion. I enjoyed it.
Good. That we're gonna be tuning in to see that. I'm like, that's my movie that what's called. I want to go see for sure. So hopefully that movie actually, I think it's good. I think it's gonna like me for sure. Now, another news that was keeping on the movie news that was announced: 24 Jump Street, people, movie is in the works. Shockingly, like, who was talking about 22 Jump Street? Who was talking about 23 Jump Street? Who was friggin' talking about Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum to return as their characters in these movies? Nobody. Then all of a sudden, here we are getting news that 24 Jump Street is happening. And the reason why you guys see what you guys see on the screen is because the gimmick and the funny thing that they did at the end of 23 Jump Street was give us an actual timeline of all the movies that they were possibly going to be doing when it comes to the Jump Street saga, right? I think they went up to what, 32 or 38 or something like that.
So since I watched it, so I don't even know.
Right, it's been a dead as long as time I've seen one. So when I see the movie, I want to see how long it gets to. But obviously, it put on the screen right there. This was supposed to be their story for 24 Jump Street. Don't think it's gonna actually be what it is for sure that we see on the clip, but at the end of the day, it's happening. It's in the works. Jonah Hill, Channing Tatum, and Ice Cube are definitely for sure inked to return for the next movie. So that's fine, man. It's a comedy movie. You just enjoy yourself. The comedy part about it is that these old ass heads trying to be someone they're not as far as younger versions. All right. That's what's the funny part about this. So I'm cool with whatever they come up with. They've always been fucking hilarious when they did these two movies. And at this point, it's just probably going to be even more hilarious. I expect to have Franco to be involved. I expect the other guy that was involved, like this partner in jail in 23 Jump Street, to be involved. So it is what it is at this point. It's going to be a hilarious movie regardless. So congratulations to Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill and Ice Cube. Got to involve him too now that you guys are making another one. But keep it on the movie news and announcements this week, which was, look, this is weird for me. Okay. I didn't anticipate to see this movie to be announced that they're going to be making, because it's been over freaking 30 years since these ladies have been relevant at all whatsoever on the big screen. Right. So the movie's called Rami and Michelle. All right. The first movie was generally his high school reunion. Right. It aired in 1997 and it was a big hit. It casted Myra, hopefully I'm saying this last name right, Sorvino, cast as Romney to the left of you there that you guys see here on the screen. The young lady over there is Lisa Kudrow, obviously for friends, those who have seen it, as Michelle. And the plot of the first movie was that they're obviously inseparable people. They always like to be around. They're best friends. They were besties, as you might say. They were typical blondes, which was dim-witted, how the whole narrative was back in the day, in the 90s especially. Obviously didn't feel like they would live up to their expectations going back to the high school reunion. So they made up this whole plot to say that they invented Post-it notes just so they could, impress their schoolmates. All right. Post-it notes. Of all things they come up with was that they came up with Post-it notes. And the whole movie was, let's impress our, classmates. Look, it was a weird, goofy movie that happened in the 90s. I don't know how you make this relevant and entertaining now. It's been 30 years.
Unless the grandparents,
Okay, unless they're grandparents. Possibly. But it's just hard. It's hard. It's hard. Or parents, yes. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to wrap my head around right now. It really is. And especially for the fact of who in the hell wanted the sequel? Who asked for it? I don't remember seeing anything about these two in social media saying, let's get it. Let's have it. Who knows? I don't fucking know. I honestly don't think this was needed and necessary to get a sequel. Like, first off, here's my complaint with this. These two get a sequel, but it's taking forever to get Constantine a sequel. It's taking forever for freaking damn Marvel movie. It's taking forever to freaking get Moon Knight to get a sequel on there. It's taking forever to get fucking Spider-Man sequel to finally pop off. It's taking forever for them to do a Spider-Man Venom, mix off. But then these guys, let's get a sign off real quick. I don't understand. I don't understand. It is what it is. But hopefully everything goes well. Lisa Kudrow, again, I've always been a fan just because I watch Friends and her as Phoebe. That's how I know her as. It is what it is. But let's see if it goes well. I'll probably tune in, but I'll probably wait till it comes on streaming services. I'm not paying to go to the movie theater just to go see that film. All right. Don't know why this is all white. What is that? Hold on. Time out, everybody. Let me remove this real quick. There we go. All better. I want to make sure that's highlighted up there. So we just got this news earlier today, to be honest. Well, earlier Friday afternoon. That Department of Justice confirmed that the merger is happening. They approve the merger between Paramount and Warner Brothers. All right. They approve of Paramount purchasing Warner Brothers for the amount is astonishing at this point. $111 billion is what the Department of Justice approved of by purchasing Warner Brothers. So it's official. Paramount is now going to own Warner Brothers. There also is talks of Paramount selling their portions of Nickelodeon. So Nickelodeon's content we may be seeing that elsewhere because of this approval. All right. So there's a lot of stuff that's going to be deep diving into this for sure. That I want to stay tuned and discuss with everyone and keep everyone updated on this, because it's just going to be after today, it's a trickle effect. There's going to be so much that's going to be hidden in the news media and a lot of things to be covering over to say who's going where, what's going to be retained from Warner Brothers, what departments they're probably going to be laying off of, where they're going to be, in general, they're purchasing Warner Brothers, yes, but the content that's on Warner Brothers, which one of them are they going to sell off in order to kind of say, you can go elsewhere, let's get some money back in the long run. So
I think it depends on shows and fandom. So I heard mostly he's aiming at Cartoon Network and things like that, from what I heard. So it's like
Correct.
interesting to see what cartoons are they planning to get rid of now.
Right. I honestly would say is that Paramount really wants to keep the DC universe for sure. I think that's really their impediment of right now with the whole purchase is that they want the DC universe. So with that purchase, they want everything that's entitled with DC universe. They want everything when it comes to their Cartoon Network, style of like ownership, Looney Tunes, all of that mix. Paramount wants to have that. So when I hear about Nickelodeon and that supposedly they're selling off some of their content, I can only say that ideally is what they want to sell is their live TV shows, right? I think they're going to
Hmm.
retain a lot of their kid networks, their cartoon networks, and within Nickelodeon stuff, Nick Jr., in order to have these crossovers now or the ability to continue with these crossovers because when it comes to merchandise, that would be their biggest investment is the merchandise in the kid, franchise. Let's invest into the merchandise of Ninja Turtles. Let's invest in the merchandise in, Big House, Big Blue, or whatever case to be. All that stuff like that is what they're gonna want to invest. So this could end up happening, man. Hey, we can see a Hey Arnold crossover with freaking Neutron or something like that, man. We finally could be seeing something in that mix. So it's coming. It is coming though. But congratulations, I guess you would say, to Paramount for freaking buying Warner Brothers and getting the approval. So, let's see what happens though. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be a lot of stuff to cover in the next couple of months, man. Because it's sure enough, it's a big deal. It is a big deal. Speaking of money, though, and speaking of purchases, we found out that Elon Musk was dubbed the first trillionaire. I know we don't really talk about this stuff, whatever. We don't really put this out there, but this is a big deal. All right. This is a big freaking deal because this gentleman now is a trillionaire, the first ever well known trillionaire in the world. All right. All because he put SpaceX public. All right. So he's worth that much now. Last time I checked, trillionaire, hey man, if you got all the money in the world, man, help some places out. All right. Help some places out. That's all I can say. Me being that type of self-minded person, trillionaire, okay, invest back into where you live, invest back into the communities, invest back into the low income people and say, hey, let me help you guys with these troubling times. You're a trillionaire now. Last time I checked, we did this whole conversation with Bill Gates and said, hey, if Bill Gates, were to spend $2 million a day, he would still be rich. So it's like, come on, make that make sense now that this gentleman is a trillionaire and say, all right, let me help out this city, let me help this state with X amount of dollars, and they'll be fine. They'll be able to live forward. I don't know. Do something in that manner. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. So hopefully that does make better sense. Ugh. But hopefully he makes the right decision because at the end of the day, if something were to go wrong, he's going to end up in the rejects of the week for sure. All right. Now, generally speaking of rejects of the week, I'm sorry, New York, those who live in New York and tuning in, I apologize, but I don't apologize because you guys brought it up on yourself. You New York fans are getting rejects of the week, okay? And the reason being, and you're probably going to be mad, like, why the hell, for what, why? Like, we're just having fun. We're enjoying our NBA victory. We're in the playoff finals. Oh, you're just a Bulls fan and playing, being a hater. No, player. I'm not being a hater, man. I'm upset at the way you guys are behaving. Yes. And that's why I'm giving you guys rejects of the week. All right. Because after a badass win on Thursday that you guys deserved, the team itself pulled together to come over the most deficit in the NBA finals and win that game. You guys want to act like fools outside All right. In New York, y'all want to behave not right, not take care of your city, not behave yourselves. All right. This was all over social media. And I'm not gonna dog this because this is actually respectful. This is what's up. This is what you do. You can be in the streets, you can sit there and represent your city, but be respectful of the road and be respectful of those who are still traveling. This is exactly how you behave. This is not how you behave in your city after a victory and amongst your fellow fan teammates. All right. You guys vandalize your city. You guys put that all over social media. You freaking start brawls with Spurs fans knowing that, okay, they lost. So what? Leave them alone. You can talk shit as they're walking by, fine. But you ain't got to sit here and put hands on the person. Go ahead.
I don't think it works that way nowadays, man. Fans are gone crazy because last time the Knicks had world championship was like 1970s. Old man was
Yeah,
still young back in those days, you know? Old man remembers.
exactly. So it's like you've had this big old period of time of freaking not having a championship. All right, you're barely winning now. It doesn't give you the right to be acting like morons, man. And this is my thing right now. This is also my big thing right now. Why I'm solely upset is because I've watched the clip with this gentleman here in the black hoodie on the right hand side, even standing there telling the rest of his fellow New York fans, saying, guys, what are we doing? Why are we trying to tear down this freaking lamppost when this is our city? This is our town. We shouldn't be behaving like this. What are we doing? And then all of a sudden, some other jokers want to get on there and start beating him up because he's speaking facts. He's speaking respectfulness. He's speaking properness and how to take care of your city. Did we behave like this in Chicago when fucking Michael
Yeah.
Jordan won Chicago? No, we didn't. Chicago fans were excited. We were hyped the fuck up. We were standing next to each other, cheering each other on. We weren't
I
fucking beating
remember,
each other up.
no, we're just honking our horns and driving like crazy
Mm-hmm. All
while
over.
listening to B96.
Exactly. Like it don't make no sense. And whether you are like gonna try to justify to me that this was right, man. They were, this is our city. We own this. No. Stop. Just stop. Because you look like fools. You look like degenerates. You look like morons. Unintelligent people. When you sit there and terrorize your city like that, just because you came back and won a game. All right. You haven't won the series yet. Now you do all of this, and let's say now you're casting bad juju on your team, and all of a sudden the Spurs go on a fucking 4-game win streak and then end up winning the finals itself. Are you gonna feel proud about yourselves for doing that? Probably not. So sit the hell down, fucking chill, celebrate properly, enjoy, and bask in the ambience. All right? Just fucking bask in the ambience right now. You should be, yes, shutting the freaking street down, shutting the city down because you're fucking having fun. You're blasting some fucking New York music and you're sitting there enjoying yourselves. You're partying. That's what you should be doing.
You know what's a good example for them? Look at Mexico right now with the people who came from Korea and
Mm,
Japan. Look how they
there you
party with
go.
them. They're out there dancing, flipping people
Yes.
over so they can drink some
Yes.
beer.
Yes.
There's no rioting. It's like, damn. I'd rather
Cor-
be in Mexico right now, partying like crazy. Shout out to G Money
Ex-
who's over there.
right. Exactly. That's exactly right. Exactly right. That's exactly the perfect example. Mexico, after they won their the first FIFA game so far of this season, winning that game and just fucking shutting the city down in the sense of just having fucking fun, just having fun, enjoying with your fellow neighbor. Damn, man, come on, man, stop it. You're the what I'm worried about and why it's such agitation to me. I'm not a New York fan. All right. I'm a Chicago Bulls fan. That's my team, hometown team. But because I'm rooting for a team in the finals, I want the Knicks to win. Spurs already won. They've had their time. They've had their era of Ginobili, Duncan, Parker. They've had their run. Leonard, Kawhi Leonard. They've had their run. Yes, what New York fans in my lifetime only had was the Ewing era. Melo tried but didn't succeed. And right now, currently, we're having this era of the Brunson era with New York. So, knowing their history and rooting for a team, I'm rooting for the Knicks. I want them to win. But I do believe that if they win this game and you fans continue to behave like this, you're ruining the moment. You're killing the moment, man. You're dead ass killing the moment. You need to stop. Fucking behave. Because now it's going to be a bitter win when someone ends up unalived. That is by far the most worriest thing I'm worried about right now, is that there's going to be a fan that's in this mix and enjoying themselves, who went there for the first time and having this moment and all this kind of stuff, and they end up unalive or hurt, majorly hurt. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want that to happen.
I agree. That's the things that actually need you to think, these celebrations are getting too out of hand, and you never know how far this could go. And
yes,
that's what I agree with you that we want it to be as peaceful and as less harmful as possible.
Mm-hmm.
But that it all depends on when are the fans going to react and say, you know what, let's take it down a notch.
Correct.
Yes, we can celebrate, we can flip cars over and everything, but let's take it down a notch.
Agreed. That is the big thing. Let's just tune it down, man. Just tune it down. You could be all over social media. You could definitely be in a car, jamming to a song, having fun. It's okay. It's just these moments when you're beating each other up and having these fights, having fucking the military step in and do these gas and smoke bombs and stuff. It's a bad look. It is a bad look, and it's just ruining the moment. And I didn't bring this up a minute ago, but and the fact that you're egging Wembley, all right? Wembley just lost. He's going into his hotel room, and you're standing outside watching them go into their hotel room, and you egg him? Like, what? Why? Why are you really, shoving a guy down like that? I would understand if he's sitting there talking shit about New York. I would understand if he's dead ass on social media or in his press conferences and saying you guys are horrible or this New York team sucks. Fine. That's justifiable, man, as a fan. But for someone who just lost a 29-point game, NBA history type of game, he's already beaten and done. That loss is already embedded in his head. It's already eating at him. So now, don't add on more, man. Be respectful and just let him feel the moment. Let him feel shitty like he definitely does. So, I gotta move on from that because it's rejects will be get into me, man. These rejects, man. I swear, these are really rejects, dead ass. But I gotta go on to a cool ass topic we came up with, Mr. Allegedly that's been said, people. It's allegedly been said. So, first one on the board of allegedly been said. Yes, I know. Earlier this show, we definitely talked about White Chicks 2 and Don't Be a Menace 2. But there is a talk about a reboot on In Living Color. All right. Now, if this were to actually happen, this would fucking be the highly most favored TV show and return in television history. It definitely is.
That all depends on the cast. Because remember, the guys that are there,
correct,
they're all already movie stars and mostly probably retired too. So you're gonna have to see who you cast in, but at least you're gonna have Keenan behind it. So that's the only good part about it, I think at the end, the last season, I'm not sure. By then, the Wayne brothers all left it,
Right.
but
Yes.
I think
Yes.
with the Wayne brothers back and in charge again, it will be just as good as it was when they first started.
Agreed. You can never go back in time and repeat history. You can never do. No matter what TV show has done a reboot, a remake, a continuation, a comeback, no matter what, you can never beat the original, regardless. And all these guys that were on this freaking cast of A Living Color have embedded themselves in history for this show and for that time in history. All right. I don't think you'll ever get another Jim Carrey in the series. You will never get another Wayans in the history. The sister, Kim Wayans, Marlon, Damien, fucking Sean, they were all involved in this show at one point or another, but you will never repeat those moments. Never will. But you can make it fun for the next crew, the next generation that comes about. So, my opinion and my thought process on this is that if the Wayans do revive the show, because they have to be the ones to be in charge with the production, the screenwriting, and everything that comes about, choice, castmates, that has to be within the Wayans. They have to be in control of this. That being said, I know they'll give us a certain crew that will feed into what the future is going to be. And I think right there would be freaking fun. The only concern that I would have with this whole reboot action is just like what happened with Scary Movie 6. These generations of comedy, people ain't going to get. They're not going to get. They didn't get the roast of Kevin Hart. Everyone's fucking sensitive. And I know for a fact people are going to be fucking sensitive when it comes to a Living Color sequel. Or reboot. They definitely are. But if they can give us talent the way they did with the Wayans, Jim Carrey, Jennifer Lopez. If you guys don't know history, Jennifer Lopez was a dancer on A Living Color. She made an impact in our time frame. So if they can do so again, let's go. But I know if this would actually were to happen, this would be all over social media. We would definitely have a lot of the clips of what's happening in Living Color that happened in the past. We definitely get a lot of what the clown, Homie the Clown, with talking about Homie don't play that. Like, you get a lot of that on social media. So we'll see. We shall see. But if this is true, then I'm down for it, man. I'm actually excited for this one. Now, this next one, though, it's allegedly been said, people, and it's going around, that the Brand New Day test screening is not looking good, people. It is not looking good. Now, that's not saying that the whole movie sucks, all right? There's only a specific thing that's been sucking, and people are not liking. These fans that have watched this test screening thus far have hated the ending. I don't know what that consists of. They haven't discussed and fully disclosed of what the ending is, but people don't like it. So now, in my thought process is that we've been tuning in and talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day and what's been coming about between the trailer and the new trailer and then the reshoots and stuff. What is it about the ending that was the original and the new reshoots? We don't know. So at this point, is this a big concern? Yes, because it's now going to impact the ticket sales when it comes to wanting to go see this movie. Because if someone's been highly anticipating this movie to be released, but then I'm getting a lot of freaking rumors about a so-called crappy ending, I'm not gonna want to go see that in theater. I'm not gonna want to spend $100 just to go see it in theaters. I'd rather wait till it comes on Disney Plus, so I can stream it for whatever monthly fee that I'm paying for at the moment, which is definitely cheaper than going to see it in movie theaters. So I don't know. That's bad news that I'm hearing, but I hope it's not true, and I hope that they can fix this, in the next couple of months, so that way when they do these more trailers of it, and when the movie finally does come about to be released, we'll get the right taste. All right, but on to the next, people. Ugh. Sebastian Stan. All right, you guys thought that he was going to be Harvey Dent in the next Batman 2 movie, right? But it seems like that Sebastian Stan is going to be Victor Zsasz in Batman 2. There are highly rumors that he is not Harvey Dent. He is Victor Zsasz. So if this is true, is this a bad thing? No, I don't think so. I think this is actually a pretty cool thing because I haven't seen a Victor Zsasz whatsoever in any interpretation when it comes to movies.
Apparently, he was in Batman Begins, but he was a small role.
Oh, okay, very good.
But yeah,
Didn't
for this,
didn't
it'd
know
be
that.
interesting to see Victor Zsasz because I think this is the type of world where Victor Zsasz would be perfect to live in. The
Mm.
detective,
Yep, 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 yep,
he
yep.
probably each slash that he does on his victim could be kind of like what he does himself too. So, because Victor Zsasz, I think he slashes himself per victim.
Right.
It's like a tattoo, a trophy in a way with his own body.
Yes. And that's the thing. So what Victor's as, what his interpretation is, or like what his thing about him being the villain in it is, yes, when he unalives his victims, right? It's a very psychedelic type of scenario when it comes to being a villain in the Batman universe. And it's oddly enough that, oh, this comic or this cartoon series is basically involving themselves in the mixture of someone where they unalive someone and they mark themselves like as if it's a trophy, you know, like I've already killed one, I've already killed two, I've already unalived my third, and just keep counting on themselves on their own body, self harming themselves. It's weird. It is definitely weird, and it's definitely impactful for a story to be told about that. So, them bringing this up in Batman 2, it's the story has to be written correctly, in my opinion. But look, man, I just rewatched the first Batman, the Batman by Matt Reeves. I rewatched it, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, you know what? And then this came out of the Sebastian Stan becoming Victor Zsasz. I'm actually excited for it, to be honest. If this is true, and if he is this character, I think Matt Reeves is gonna give us another fucking Oscar-winning performance within Sebastian Stan, because he ain't no scrub as an actor. He can act. So if this is true, and the type of storyline that we're prone to receive from Matt Reeves, I think this is gonna be a showstopper for sure. Because our attention is away from Penguin. Our attention away is from Selena Kyle, who which is by what's her face, Kravitz,
So, Kravitz?
right? Zoe Kravitz. Our attention is away from them. They're not really involved in the storyline in part 2, so that means he is going to get a lot of attention. This story is going to get a lot of attention. I'm hyped for that one.
Well, I heard that from what I read that Penguin is in the movie.
2 scenes, but he's not as a big impact as he was in the first movie. He's
Okay.
limited. He's not as much, according to Farrell himself. He's in it. He's like, as much as I know, I'm not a big piece in it though. He was definitely highly in it in the first film, but this film, he said it was more fun because it wasn't so much required of him. So
It'll be interesting to see what they do um with him in that position.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing I keep hearing is that Scarlett Johansson is still rumored to be what's it called? What's her name?
Poison Ivy now?
Andrea Beaumont.
Ooh, Beaumont.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Beaumont.
it's rumored that she is destined to be Andrea Beaumont,
Mm.
and that's interesting to see that if that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I like to see why Andrea Beaumont now exists in this world, where the opposite of her would be Victor's ass, unless
Mm. Cutting off a bit there. But I think what you're trying to say is unless Victor Zsasz is the gentleman that unalives Beaumont's father, like we've seen, because if you guys have ever seen that, animated version of Batman, Phantom of the Phantasm, I'm going to pronounce it correctly.
Master of
Uh,
Phantasm.
Mask of the Phantasm. Thank you. Uh,
You're
as
welcome.
anyone who's ever seen that, one, if not arguably the greatest animated cartoon movie of all time. All right. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Batman fan. Maybe I am, just because I am. But the
Well, you're not the only
storyline,
one
it's
saying it.
thank you.
If I may interrupt you, you're not the only
Yeah,
one
yeah.
saying it. I mean, Sports Illustrated said it.
Yeah.
What's it called? Bleacher Report says it.
Thank you. It wasn't until this Spider-Man, multiverse crap was, trying to, input their way in the mix. Bro, Batman had that for so long. You know what I mean? For so long, 20 years on the top. And now
Oh,
this,
and speaking about that, I wanted to
yeah.
add to Spider-Man, but I couldn't. For some reason, I was having problems trying to get logged back in here with the
Mm-hmm,
Spider-Man thing.
mm-hmm.
I wonder if the people who test for that movie, the ones that went to go watch it early,
Okay.
I wonder if they're actual fans of the comics or if they're just casuals. If they're
Agreed.
casuals and if they got mad at the movie, that something might have happened to Spider-Man that only an actual fan would know.
That's also a good point. Very good point. Because I brought up the fact that was it just more of the original script? Was it, or it could have been the reshoots that people didn't really mesh well, or this is what the ending looked like. So that's in the mix. But you're right about that. It would be right in the fact of if you are an actual comic book fan who watched Spider-Man, read Spider-Man, that saw this ending and said that's not Spider-Man. That's another good point. That's
Because remember,
that's another. Go ahead.
you and me, we grew up watching the cartoons and we know a lot about Spider-Man because of those cartoons. Especially
Right.
because the ones from the 90s were very, um, how do you say it? Well, in a way, adults, like for teenagers and adults in a way, though they were for kids, but it was like a show for everybody. Um, and that's the thing I
Made in
remember
kids
about it.
view, but story was told in adult view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's why I'm like, I think a lot of people, whoever watched it, they must have not liked it. But I bet you when the real fans go to watch it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, dang, this is cool. They did this," and then those
Mm-hmm.
fans are gonna explain what just happened on their YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah,
That's true.
that's kind of like what I see with Victor's ass. Me and you, we grew up with the animated series of Batman, which
Right.
is to me it's exactly what they should look into when they want to create a Batman film. The series is
Correct.
already a good what do
Emmy
you say?
winning series. It's an Emmy winning
Yeah,
series. Oscar winning. I think it was Oscar. I don't know if it was Oscar, but Emmy for
no,
sure. Television Emmy. Like when you have a show like that at that high level, that's where you want to pull a lot of key pieces from in order you to make your own interpretation for success and for it to be successful. So yes, I agree.
and that's why I'm like, I want to see what they do with Victor's ass because I feel like one in the cartoons and like outside of the cartoons, in
Mm-hmm.
the movie like the mainstream where he appeared for a while, and even in the video games, I think they don't show. his like how far he could go as a villain. They don't
Right.
show his sadistic style. Imagine
Yes.
Matt Reeves, who's willing to step a little bit further with the character, like he did with the Riddler. Now
Right.
let's see what he could do with God. That's
Hey,
actually gonna happen.
yes, yes, correct the mundo. Correct the mundo right there. That's exactly why I'm like, man, after I rewatched that first Batman movie that he made, it's like it's good. Like again, we had this conversation last week about Robert Pattinson being the Batman, and I'm not all for Robert Pattinson being the Batman. I'm not. I don't like it. It's not him. And again, it's only a critique. My critique on it is really the only thing about it what I don't like is him being the Batman. But I love what Matt Reeves is doing when it comes to the story because it's making it the comic book accurate of Batman being the detective, Batman being, having these different type of scenarios to succeed in, and creation of what he has to succeed in. And this is year 2 of Batman. So it's not like as if, this guy has every single gadget. He's having gadgets that are just upcoming that definitely brand new to him. And it's like, I got to use them. So with all of that being told and the characters being and the scenario being said and the interpretation of him being a villain to everyone, then all of a sudden being noticed as the hero for everyone, it's like you couldn't have done it better. You couldn't have done it better. And the involvement of Bruce Wayne / Batman, it's like another better scenario involving Bruce Wayne and getting pulled into the mix and having him be the alter egos and trying to having the moments of I gotta be Bruce Wayne. This is important to me, but at the end of the day, Batman is the focal point. So he did well on that. And with him having Sebastian Stan and playing, having possibly him be Victor's ass, I don't know, man. I honestly am excited for what the possibility is. And I only think that this could be nothing more than successful. Nothing more. That's my expectation. And if it happens, I told you. I said it. I think it's gonna look pretty good. Pretty good.
Even even if it's not that, then let's say the other rumor of him being Two Face, that's
Right.
another good story.
Corrector.
The Long
Mm-hmm.
Halloween is a heck of a story for Two Face. And
Yep.
till now, I really haven't seen a proper Two Face yet. Like you
Correct.
realize that none of them have ever been split personality. It's just some dude who goes mad or goes psycho.
Correct. And it like, yes, I don't remember the actor's name. I honestly don't know his name, but the gentleman who portrayed Harvey Dent in The Dark Knight, he did a great job. I'm not gonna say he didn't do a great job. He did a great job, but that overall Harvey Dent Two-Face character wasn't enough, honestly. His Two-Face was only the last 20 minutes of the film. His Harvey Dent was literally an hour plus of the film. You should have had a good equal value to each character a little bit. Yes, his Harvey Dent was great. His Two-Face is kind of what fell short, even though that little piece that I've got was actually pretty good. And the other reason why is I was more pissed of when I first saw the film. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, all right, Harvey Dent isn't dead. He actually isn't dead. For so long I went through thinking that Harvey Dent survived and they moved him to Arkham or whatever case may be and said that he supposedly died just because he turned into Two-Face, right? It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
until when they released the third film with freaking fucking
Bane.
Bane that he actually died. And I'm like, fucking how? He was only 3 feet above, like what, 3 stories up, and they both fell down on the ground. And it's like, okay, Batman survived with bruises, but Harvey Dent dies. Like, what the? That don't make no sense to me. So that's where I'm like, that's what made me upset with. It's like you could have had him be a big piece to the third film and really have a great impact on the Bane scenario, because Bane could be like, he was a big piece of the Bane scenario because it was a lie that they were telling to the people. So what Bane would have done and said, he would have brought out the note, but then he also would have brought out fucking Harvey Dent as Two-Face and said, him doing all the crime that's happening, Two-Face would have been seen, visible. People would have saw him and been like, who is this guy? He looks familiar, but he's not familiar. It's Two-Face. Oh, it's Harvey Dent. And then he comes out with the big announcement and being truthful and that Batman was part of the lie. And it's like, yes, here's the proof. He's part of the lie. Whatever case it be, like, that would have had a better impact in my mind. I think that part right there was missing from that final movie that they had. So
I agree. I think it was missing. Second thing I was missing is that apparently in the final movie, believe it or not, and no, the rumor I heard is that if Heath Ledger was to not have died, the movie was supposed to be a full-on Two-Face film.
Okay.
But I guess Heath Ledger is supposed to be alive for him to add his 50 cents to Two-Face character and like be in his head or something, like
Gotcha.
taunting him.
Gotcha.
But things just fell out.
Right, and agree, and it's fine. Again, I'm not mad at it. It just more or less of, we probably could have got a better Two-Face in that version, which would have been badass. So for him, Sebastian possibly being Two-Face, he's also could be a badass gentleman to be playing Two-Face. It's just, I need to see more of Two-Face than I do see Harvey Dent, but I also need to feel like as if I got equal value of each character in order to say he portrayed it really well. All I'm saying. But I think Victor Zsasz will be a badass one. Will be a badass guy.
I agree.
So that's not necessarily all I have for, allegedly been said, everybody. All right. This is my final thing. And I don't really go off on this, but I think I want to bring it up because it'd be a good topic to talk about, but it also would be a weird one to talk about. And it also kind of resonates with the entertainment purposes, because some of these stories that's been told kind of used some of these things that we're about to discuss. All right. I know it's weird. But it looks like aliens has become a big topic. Just saying, it's all over social media. And somehow there's 4 different species of aliens that the US government has encountered. I'm not political, but come on, man. Like I said, there's entertainment purposes that circles around this, man. The movie called Signs, the new movie that's called Disclose that's coming out, fucking eighth sense kind or whatever case may be movie that was discussing about it in Alaska, like that one, Independence Day. So with all of that being the mixture of things, it's like it involves entertainment and it also involves real life news media. So the most recent reports when it comes to aliens, right? Most recent reports is with these 4 different kinds is that there's one that's called Greys, Nordics, Reptilians, insectoids. All right. It's It's
Interesting name.
weird. Very weird, right? Like,
I wonder how they came out with this. Like, was somebody doing some steroids and thought, you know what? I'm gonna call this one insectoid.
but, but that, yeah. And it's also like, it's also more or less of just like, where'd you get this name from? Did you get it from the movie or TV show that you watched or something different? Like, where did you get it from? Right. So when I wanted to read it, and also I Googled this part of things, and when they just said that, what are the grays? Well, their reports say that the grays are the classics, which is what you see on the screen, man. The classic big old head, big eyes, and little cheekbones and little face, whatever. Is your stereotypical type of alien that you know seen. The short, slender, but big heads, gray, scaly kind of ones. Somehow reported
Yeah.
been seen. All right. That's it. That's what they're called. So whenever we see this general classic type of alien that we've had these cartoons of or stickers of, it's called the gray. Weirdly. Allegedly. Well, no, not allegedly, because it's true, but again, it's allegedly been said that we've seen this. The second ones are called Nordics, which are tall whites. Weird. That's a weird name to attach it to. It is often described as tall, pale, and highly human-looking type of. They usually depicted in having blonde hair, blue eyes, and peaceful and advanced nature. Sounds like white people. Just saying. Knock on wood. Don't mean put it that way. Sounds like white people. But it
No.
right. But it also kind of reminds me of that movie The Signs. You know, what we saw at the end,
Yeah.
they kind of blended in with their scenario. They were tall, they were wide, they were skinny, you know, type of tone. Kind of reminds me of Signs. Now, I don't know what that means, but kind of reminds me of that. Now, the third one's is called Reptilians. Oh boy.
And then what
Speculated
that looks like Reptile from Mortal Kombat.
no, more like if you ever seen the movie oh damn, what's that movie with Will Ferrell? Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost. Okay. You remember those aliens that were more reptilian like? They had like three hands, weird eye, weird shaped heads, whatever. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
Okay, kind
Oh,
of like
okay.
that. Yeah. So the speculation is speculated to be tall, upright walking, scaly, lizard like humanoids, reptilian type of features, and sometimes they have tails. So again, like Land of the Lost, they kind of had that mixture of it there. So that is one of them. Now that's weird because those reptilian like of aliens has always been connected, and I'm just saying it. Oh man, I'm just saying it when it comes to our, you know, beliefs in religion. You know, when it comes to like the oh my god, those it's us and
Ancient
it
textbook.
yeah, the Illuminati part of things. Okay, that's would say there's always that, you know, portion of people believes that there is the reptilians that are obviously connected in with that negative energy type of things. So it's oddly it's weird for me to hear that and say that, oh well, maybe is that another piece to the puzzle of these type of stories that could be true? I don't know. I don't know. And it's just all connected. Weird. Lastly, is, you know, of the aliens that were depicted, insectozoids that are more like manatees. Okay. They are bug-like humanoids that get their nickname from their own resemblance of praying mantis. All right. They are often described as having a large compound eyes, long, slender limbs. All right. So it's so again, that's why I said it's allegedly been said. This is They've actually discussed this on TV, Fox News, all over the world at this point right now. People are discussing this in general. So I'm evolving this because it does have a lot of key pieces of what our entertainment history has been to what possibly the future could be telling in us. And also some of these badass movies that have definitely been told, right? Interstellar. Fucking, like I said, Interstellar, eight of kind. Signs, like we talked about, Independence Day, fucking The Land of the Lost, these type of movies that we've been entertained by. These depictions, man, probably came from somewhere. Just saying. So if this is true, don't involve me. I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't want to be there. If there's a UFO that approaches in this little cornfield here, guess what I'm going to do? And guess what my conscience is telling me? Run the opposite way. Don't walk towards the light. Walk away from the light if you want to live. It's generally what you've been told all your life. If you walk towards the light, not looking good. You walk away from the light, you'll be alive. But walking towards the light is I'm being with higher up. But I don't want to die. I don't want to go yet. I want to walk away from the light. So that's all I'm saying. But we'll see. We shall see how things plan out in this case scenario. All right. We shall see. So yeah. Thank y'all for tuning in here at the ReJect Rundown. It's been nice. That is all I got for you guys when it comes to our weekly discussions or talks about or topics that came about in our news media. So it's been fun, been great. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the follows. Thank y'all for the likes, subscriptions for sure. We'll be coming up for a new show next Friday as always. Hopefully we are generally on time like we normally are. But we are coming back for sure Sunday for UFC Freedom 250. As far as what time that looks like, generally as always, I'm hoping for before the first fight, but depending on how the day goes, because it's a Sunday, I might tune in a little bit later. But I damn sure will be here for the fucking Taporia fight. That is for sure.
That's a matter of fact you don't want to miss. I think they're gonna go
Hell
at
no. Hell no, I don't want to miss that fight, man. I want to see that homeboy knock the block off of Gaethje. So, so I'll tune in. I'm definitely tuning in for that one. So we'll definitely keep you posted here, the ReJect Rundown. We hope you guys have a good weekend. And again, those who are NBA fans, hope whoever team they're rooting for, gets their W. All right. If you are Spurs fans, if you're Knicks fans, look, it is what it is. I'm not mad at either or who wins, but if I'm more right now currently that Knicks fans, I hope you guys win because I hope your team actually does good. I want y'all to win. Just behave yourselves afterwards. All right. That's all I ask for. Just behave yourselves. Other than that, we will see you until next show. You guys stay tuned as always. Thank y'all again for tuning in with us. Be safe. Take care. Oh man. Say your byes. Oh, that was good.
Oh, sorry, my microphone was off.
Go ahead.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a good night, and thank y'all for hanging out with us.
All right. That sounds good.